Did you know that 90% of Americans are malnourished? If you're experiencing allergies, constipation, muscle aches, headaches, strong body odors, it could be what you're eating. Hi, my name is Dr. Sharon Pickford, and I'm a chiropractor and a clinical nutritionist. I help coach my patients on the importance of quality foods to help nourish their bodies. Did you know that every organ in your body requires whole foods to function properly? When you ingest over-the-counter synthetic vitamins, processed foods, sugary drinks, foods that contains pesticides, additives, and other chemicals, your body simply cannot process this as food, and over time, the body becomes severely depleted of nutrients. If you want more energy, decreased joint pain, better digestion, and improved sleep, let me help you start your nutritional lifestyle journey, and together we can begin healing you from the inside out. Call us for a free consultation at 323-238-2260. Hi, everybody. Thank you for participating in creating a healthy and strong you. My name is Dr. Sharon Pickford, and here is Rachel to give you an introduction of my background.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pickford. Everyone, thank you so much for your time. I just want to introduce to you, Dr. Pickford is a native of Los Angeles, California. She has 25 years of combined experience as a licensed occupational therapist and chiropractor. She earned her BS in occupational therapy at Loma Linda University and her doctorate in chiropractic from Cleveland Chiropractic College of Los Angeles. She also acquired her certification in applied clinical nutrition from Southern California University of Health Science. Everyone, Dr. Pickford, it's up to you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. All right. So, what is your why for getting healthy? If you're like most people, you want more than just a better checkup in mind when you think about losing weight. Perhaps you've been avoiding the mirror because you expect to not necessarily like what you see. Perhaps you just don't have the energy to keep up with your kids, your grandkids, or your active little dog, like I have one. Whatever triggered your decision to burn the pounds, spending some time with your why is essential for strategizing how to stay motivated to lose weight or pursue any health goals. So getting in shape, it's about more than fitting into a smaller size. So we don't want to get caught up in that. So again, we're talking about the why. How will my life be different on a daily, yearly, and long-term basis if I lose this weight? How much more will I accomplish? How much money will I save on doctor visits and medication? Huge. What can my family and I do with that money? Go on vacation. How much better will I feel physically and emotionally? Fantastic. The benefit is to reduce your chances of developing metabolic syndrome, which is a cluster of risk factors that over half of Americans over the age of 40 have been diagnosed with. So what is metabolic syndrome? Metabolic syndrome isn't a disease, but a group of risk factors that increase your risk of several diseases. So we got 5 risk factors, and all you need is 3 to be considered under a metabolic syndrome, okay? High blood pressure, you have a high fasting triglyceride, okay? You have a low HDL cholesterol, which is a high density protein, and they call that the good cholesterol. Or you can have a high fasting blood sugar, which makes you insulin resistance, and that's what people are looking at, the A1C. Or you can have that abdominal obesity. And what's the effects of that? To reduce your immune system. Any of those will reduce your immune system, and all you need is 3 out of the 5. Okay? So consequences of unchecked metabolic syndrome. So say some people don't go to the doctor for 3, 4, 5 years. Some people just may not have the insurance. It could be multiple reasons, right? Complications of untreated metabolic syndrome as a heart attack, a stroke, diabetes, hardening of the arteries, kidney disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I know you've heard of alcoholic liver disease, which they call cirrhosis of the liver, basically. But a non-alcoholic liver disease are people who don't drink alcohol, but they still get fatty liver disease, and that's because of the foods that they eat. And so with increased stress equals decreased immune system, such as viruses and bacteria, obesity and your immunity. So if we have abdominal obesity, that equals to metabolic syndrome, which equals to insulin resistance, which equals to a high inflammation in the body. So that excess inflammation is what ultimately weakens the body's immune response and reduces its ability to fight pathogens. So a note on insulin. Insulin is a hormone made by your pancreas. What's the pancreas? The pancreas it always looks like a grapevine. Not a grapevine, but a cluster of grapes. And it sits right up under your stomach, right? Tucked up in there. That helps sugar enter your cells to be used as energy. Normally, your digestive system breaks down the food you eat into sugar. However, for people with insulin resistance, cells don't respond normally to insulin, and glucose, which is sugar, can enter the cells easily. As a result, your blood sugar levels rise even as your body churns out more and more insulin to try to lower your blood sugar. Eventually, the pancreas wears out from working too much overtime, okay? And may no longer be able to produce enough insulin to keep blood sugar levels in check. Therefore, if your insulin levels are not healthy, your immune system won't work as well as it could, okay? So insulin really is a hormone, and you want to be careful because after a while, just like anything in the body, it can be worn out and it can be exhausted. So luckily, we're in a country where we have something that can replace it. And so if the pancreas is not producing the insulin, of course, then you'll have to get the needle, the injections, which will give you insulin. Who wants to live like that? Okay. So what are your excuses? A lot of people got excuses why they can't exercise. Well, it's COVID. COVID is over. I don't have time. My job doesn't make it possible. I can't afford a healthy lifestyle. It costs too much. I hear that all the time. I don't know how to be healthy, and that's okay. Habits that you're afraid to break because you feel more comfortable where you are. Identifying your barriers. Feelings of self-worth, lack of self-love, and a poor mental health. So those can be some barriers for people, okay? So creating time for movement, finding the time to move, balancing work, family, and self-improvement usually stays on the back burner. A lot of women go through this. Baby steps. Don't push yourself. Just take it one step at a time. Plan out grocery lists that include healthier options. Do some mini workouts while you watch TV. I call them commercial exercises. So every time there's a commercial, then you do a stretch. Or you take your dumbbells and you do your dumbbells. And then when the movie comes back up, okay, stop. Something is better than nothing. Or you jog in place. Schedule a walk with someone you would normally sit and talk with. Instead of having a talk on the phone about gossip, we can actually go for a little walk. Hey, girl, let's just walk around the corner right quick. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. That depends. If it's 20 flights, I wouldn't recommend it unless you've been doing it before. Make good lifestyle choices. What's in your refrigerator and pantry? Are there healthy options to reach for? Are those healthy options something you actually want to eat, or do the fruits and veggies you buy usually go bad because you reach for a less healthier option instead? Fill your pantry with foods that nourish you instead of comfort foods, okay? A lot of times we reach for comfort foods because we're stressed. Exercise. Move the body or avoid. For example, when you could easily walk somewhere, would you typically opt to drive instead? Ask yourself that question. Plan activities that involve moving instead of sitting around. Before you know it, your lifestyle will make a nice slow shift. Face up to your emotional connections to food, and that can be very emotional. Culturally, food has always been tied to emotions and memories. Okay, holidays, stress from, an exam coming up, different reasons. Okay. So we bake cakes to celebrate and we feast on special occasions, Christmas, Thanksgiving, yada, yada, yada. We can use food as a crutch when we're feeling down. Just for some reason, it just seems to make us feel better. When you're feeling stressed, what do you eat? What about when you're feeling sad or sorry for yourself? In situations where your emotions are running high, do you turn to food as a way to comfort yourself? These are all questions you want to ask yourself. Part of your journey involves deciding why you make the food choices that you do, then making conscious choices to take back that power you've given to food. Okay. So you, again, just take your power back. Find the support you need to succeed. No support is difficult. It is for me. I need support. So it's important that you have a sense of accountability. Find someone or something to provide you with the confidence when you need it. In short, having support can make all the difference in overcoming barriers to living a healthy lifestyle. Now, I can walk, I can go to the gym, or I'll fall off the bandwagon, but I'm always consistent with walking, okay? I'm always consistent with certain things, but there's other things like riding my bike. Oh, I fall off the bandwagon with that. But I'm always trying to do something, and it's always wonderful if you have someone to do it with. Determining your ideal body weight. Instead of worrying about how to determine your ideal body weight from a formula, those little books, counting the calories, shift your focus to health and happiness. It's about being happy and it's about being healthy. The weight will leave your body after that, especially if it's unwanted weight. The ideal body weight is about so much more than a number on a scale, okay? It's about how you feel, how your clothes fit. If it comes in a box, you see I highlighted that, a can or a microwavable container, you can bet it's loaded with preservatives, additives, sugar, and salt, which I forgot to add. Avoid the foods found in the middle aisles in the grocery store. They are often found with the ingredients you'll want to avoid, including added sugars in the formula of sucrose, which is table sugar, and high fructose corn syrup. Okay, that's pretty much chemical made. They lead to increased inflammation and insulin surges that increase the risk of diabetes and metabolic syndrome. You don't want to get 3 of the 5. Stick to the side aisles of the grocery store. Start in the produce section, those pretty vegetables, all those colors. Look for vibrant colors. Those colors and textures are loaded with life-benefiting nutrients, vitamins, minerals, fiber, protein, healthy fats, include complex carbohydrates, oatmeal, beans, quinoa, barley, sweet potatoes. Unrefined carbohydrates would be more like brown rice or whole wheat bread. And you want to be careful with even some of those beans and rice if you are insulin resistant. If you're having diabetes issues, you have to be careful with even some of the unrefined and the complex carbohydrates. And you want to look at some whole grains as well. Then learn how to build a healthful, energizing diet from these nourishing real foods. Real foods. Okay? Find an activity that you enjoy. Exercise improves your blood circulation, increases depression and the risk of chronic diseases, boosts energy, and supports your immune system. Take a walk around nature. Go to a park. Walk your neighborhood if you can. Dance to music that makes you happy. Lift weights. We need that as we get older. Yoga. Keep you from getting too stiff. Create a monthly challenge for yourself and work on it a little bit every day. Okay. I just did a really great dance class this weekend with a girlfriend. She invited me, hey, come to my dance class. It was fantastic. I had a great time. Normally I go to the gym or I walk, but sometimes it's good to work on different muscles too. Whatever you do, turn off your inner critic and tap into the gratitude you have for your body and all that it allows you to do. Sleep, a huge problem with a lot of people. Some people have insomnia. So let's talk about sleep. Sleep is nature's nurse. I love that word. It allows your body and your brain to rest and heal. And you need that time for everything to work at its full capacity when you're awake. If you don't get enough sleep, you become fatigued. You don't heal the same. You've got to rest the brain. Critique a ritual around your bedtime. Try to go to bed at the same time every night and wake up at roughly the same time every morning. Avoid sugar and caffeine before bedtime. That's huge. And brew yourself a cup of tea, add a little lemon, warm water. Some people like to do a little warm milk. That used to be the old school thing. I'm never like that, but I don't want my milk warm. Turn off all your overhead lights an hour before you go to sleep to prepare your body for rest. Strive for 8 hours of quality sleep, even if you can get 6 in. Do not sleep with the TV on, and turn off the cell phone before you go to bed. They talk about that blue light gets into your eyes, and then all of a sudden you start having issues. Another thing, I know people who have problems with sleep, but guess what? They may have a glass of wine for dinner, and that wine turns to sugar. For me, wine has always been, that's why I avoid it, has been like drinking a cup of coffee. It will keep me awake. So I can't even think about doing wine. All right, minimizing stress. Well, we got to do the best we can. Stress is a silent danger that creates leaks in your life, allowing unhealthy habits to sneak in. How do you currently manage your stress is the question. Stay motivated. To discuss the subject of staying motivated, we have to circle back to our earlier discussion about finding your why. This is why it's important to create a plan that you can stick to. Embracing the challenges, running a marathon, learning to meditate, becoming a vegan or vegetarian, doing a 10-day detoxification. What's the easiest thing for you to focus on today, this week, this month? It is eliminating processed food from your diet, or should I say, is it eliminating processed food from your diet? Even if you say, I'm going to eliminate processed food for the next 3 days, and I'm just going to cook and eat from home. That's a start, okay? Sometimes becoming a vegan or a vegetarian may be too much of a leap for someone. So you want to take it one step at a time, okay? Unfortunately, instant gratification when it comes to health just isn't a sustainable way of living. Trust the process. And here are some resources for you, okay? So I want to thank everybody. This is the end of our together time. It's just the beginning of the rest of your journey towards a healthier you and stronger you. Before we let you go, we want to remind you that I am here for any questions, comments, or concerns you might have about the information we discussed. You can go on our website, it's personaltouchchiro.com, and you can sign up for a free 15-minute consultation. We're also prepared to schedule a free telehealth. So some people probably are in another state or another city. So I do offer a free 15-minute service, and I offer telehealth, an opportunity you don't want to pass up. So thank you again for spending time with us today. We so enjoyed you and the rest of the team. Again, I'm Dr. Sharon Pickford at the Personal Touch Chiropractic Team. Thank you.